Well, 2 more to go in the first round of competition. It'll be Thumper, driven by Dwayne Dadgett.
Dadgett driving a Florida truck, and he's up against a tough one.
He certainly is. Rob Morris from Fort Worth, Texas, and 4-Wheel Crazy. Oh, no! 4-Wheel Crazy breaks.
I'll tell you, the Florida fans love every minute of that in the biggest single upset we have seen so far. Jerry, you're well aware that Rob Morris won the huge event at Anaheim, California. He has been in the points race as well. Something breaks the minute he hits the first set of the cars. The Florida Thumper Ford goes on to win. You can just imagine the thoughts going through Rob Morris's head. Here's Gadget, the second-generation driver of the big green Ford from down around Tampa. He hits the first set of cars nicely. Lord only knows if he'd have had the power to actually keep up with Rob Morris, but at this point it didn't matter. He was basically on a free ride.
Tough break for Rob Morris, but Thumper and his crew, they are happy.
Coming up next, if you're a mud racing fan, don't even think about going away. The Supercharged Super Modifieds are coming up.
The only war zone, the only battleground, we're going to be going into mud racing now. It'll be another part of the Tampa Stadium where we're going to do battle.
Right down the center of Tampa Stadium, in fact. Side by side, super modified mud racing as only the U.S. Hot Rod Association can bring it to you with the quickest and fastest four-wheel drive machines in the world. Jerry, a standard program, 80 foot of acceleration, but you see those yellow camel banners at the very end of the course. You've got to stop your machine without touching those banners or you'll be disqualified.
The Super Bowl of Motorsports being brought to you in part by Kicker, high-performance auto speakers by Stillwater Design.
Well, 1 year ago here at Tampa Stadium, this incredible turbocharged Volkswagen mud dragster slammed into the wall. He's going to have an exhibition run here again.
Wow, look at this. Look out, look out, look out. Oh, he ripped that tire right off the rim.
It's an amazing machine, isn't it? A twin turbocharged Volkswagen engine that runs as quick and as fast as the supercharged V8 Super Modified, and that was a heck of a driving job. Look at that. The tire torn right off the rim, just like you said, Jerry, and that was an exceptional run. Believe it or not, 2.28 seconds for the Fisher Buggies Volkswagen, and he's going to drive the thing back to the pit.
Unbelievable. I was afraid he was going to hit the wall again.
I'll tell you, he did some bouncing, and when the machine dug in, it tore that wheel right off the rim. Look at this thing. Wheels up, blasting through 80 feet of mud. Now, he couldn't stop it because it was in the air. That's why he couldn't get on the brakes. Right through to the disqualification banner. Look at his hands off the wheel as he tries to steer it straight. What a ride in front of 65,000 people.
Oh, look at this one. The Hoosier Hustler, driven by Kevin Kolish. Beautiful machine.
Nitrous oxide injected 89 IROC Z28 Camaro, and he is up against the man who holds the 1.91 second track record here, Jerry.
Little roadster driven by John Runner. This is called Rapid Transit. Wow! And he goes through the disqualification banners.
It's just no sooner finished talking about it than the first man out goes through it. Here's John Runner, Florida's own, with his incredible Jeep funny car, 2.20 seconds. Remember, this is an elapsed time competition. The 4 quickest vehicles will return for the Camel Shootout. Now, in the other lane, Kevin Kolish's nitrous oxide injected Camaro on the brakes hard, even puts it sideways to keep from going out. No way, Jose. He is history.
All right, next pair of machines coming to the line. It's going to be the A-Team, driven by Dick Wilson.
Like John Runner, he is a past champion here at Tampa.
And his competition will be Stroll for Gold, Gary Osteen.
Fuel-injected, nitrous-injected Chevrolet power in the near lane.
80 feet to start, 80 feet to stop. Let's watch him run. Way out in front. Oh, and Osteen goes over the disqualification banner.
I'll tell you, he was doing everything he could to stop. Dick Wilson, like I said, has won this event before, 2.33 seconds. That will give him the second quickest lap time. Rear wheels in the air, and then all four locked up. He stops with a good 10 feet to spare. Well, in the other lane, it was a completely different story. The beautiful gold metal flake Jeep buddy car dug in right off the start. That wasn't going to help as he see 2.34 seconds right with Wilson. But look at this. Bouncing off the starting line, the brakes covered with mud. Look at the look on his face. He knows exactly what happened.
Well, the next pair of machines coming up ought to be a good one. The Coors Bullet with Wesley Newman behind the controls. And he'll be going against Black Magic.
You know, this Coors Light truck has been astounding this year. It's a brand new machine. We've seen it before on ESPN's coverage of U.S. Highway Association events, but this car, Al Stebbins' Florida-based Black Magic Corvette, has been one of the strongest machines in the southeastern part of the country for almost a decade. It's literally almost a legend down here, Jerry.
Pair of machines that are really, really strong runners. Let's watch them. Wow, he takes the back end right up off the ground.
I got to tell you, only Al Stebbins could come up with showmanship in stopping a car like that. 2.32 seconds. That will give him the third quickest time. Watch this stop. Hard on the brake, rear end 3 feet in the air. He puts her sideways with more than enough room. The problems also covered the other lane. Big-time engine problems for the Coors Light Supercharged Chevy. Their history. Here's a young man looking good in points, Chad Miller from Ohio with the Instant P.
And he'll be going against the Dream Chaser, driven by Tony Lannis.
Lannis in a brand new machine. It's never been in the mud before. He used to have a Camaro mud racer. In the near lane, a brand new supercharged engine for the Instant P from Ohio.
Great looking hot rods. Here we go.
Absolutely unbelievable ride. I cannot believe that machine landed on all four wheels. The paramedics and even his crew already there. Take a look. The starting line launches the supercharged motor. Beautiful. He goes through the shutdown area sideways, bicycles on two wheels, digs in and puts it over. Just hanging there in the air, Jerry. I've never seen anything like that.
Took the wing off the top, but the roll cage stayed intact perfectly.
I'll tell you, looking at it head on, I don't think there was that much damage at all. 2.52 seconds. He had a lot of tire spin. Look at the tire distortion, just about out of bounds. Now up on two wheels. He hangs on and digs in. Incredible. Standing straight up in front of 65,000 people, and Chad Miller was fine. You can see him in the cockpit. He just lifts up the visor and says, "How did I do?" Unbelievable.
Well, they're pulling them off now. A lot of hay in the blower there.
Hit one of the side markers, and I'll tell you what, considering the fact that only a few yards of that machine touched dirt, he's lucky to get out of that with as little damage as was done, Jerry. It's amazing because Tony Lannis got to the finish line long before he did. Lannis' brand new Dream Chaser on its first ever trip through the mud really put one down. Look at this launch. 2.17 seconds. Huge power stand at mid-track. He gets on the brakes and stops it in plenty of time with the quickest run so far. You think that was wild? Stick around. We've got more super modified mud racing from the Super Bowl of Motorsports coming up. Tampa Stadium to watch this man, the two-time and defending super modified mud racing world champion Tom Martin out of Valparaiso, Indiana, in the incredible Mud Patrol.
He's going to be tough to beat, but here's the one that's going to try. More Sure Madness, driven by Kenny Heckel.
Now remember, the objective here in super modified mud racing is to be one of the four quickest runs through this 80-foot long pit. Right now, in order to be a part of the four-car Camel Shootout, in which the four quickest return for the big overall prize, it takes a run of quicker than 2.33 seconds to qualify. The quickest run we've seen so far has been the Dream Chaser at 2.17.
Tom Martin bringing it up to the line. Here we go as we continue on with the Mud Racing Championship. Wow, Tom Martin puts the pedal down.
I'll tell you what, in the other lane, Kenny Heckel sailed through the disqualification barrier, but Tom Martin puts down the numbers he's known for. A great run. At 2.42 seconds, Kenny Heckle had a good run going, but look at this. Even though the kill switch shuts the motor down, he has no brakes. He just sails through that thing and makes the slow turn around the giant Tampa Stadium floor. That was enough to get the machine slowed down to a stop. But in the other lane, look at this launch. Look at the tire distortion. 2.12 seconds for the two-time world champ. Tom Martin, as always, Jerry, takes the #1 qualifying spot.
And consistent. All right, our next racer coming up, the Intruder. Tom Martin doing the driving.
Brand new machine for the Ohio driver. You can see the blue nitrous oxide bottle on the front there, and he's up against the incredible supercharged Ford Ranger from Rhode Island, Jerry.
Steve Batard going with all blown out. Here we go. Let's watch him.
Takes a run of 2.32 seconds to qualify.
Whoa! And he rolls over the disqualification line.
Did you see the look on Tom Marsh's face when he just touched that DQ line? He was mad. Batard's supercharged Ford-powered Ranger had engine problems right at the finish line. We'll have to wait to see the number. But look at poor Tom Marsh. Had a great run going. In fact, the elapsed time came out to 2.38 seconds. But then just by inches, he's over the line, and he knows it. In the meantime, Steve Batard in the other lane, 2.21 seconds. That will qualify him barely in the quick four. There you see the smoke. That's not just steam, but engine smoke. And Batard knows he's got engine problems.
Oh, look at this hot rod. It's called the Dirty Bird, driven by Gary Osteen.
That name sounds familiar. We saw him earlier in his Stroll for Gold Jeep funny car. This is a brand new 1956 Ford Thunderbird with fuel-injected Ford power. What a ride.
He'll be going against Chuck Noel with the Stepchild.
I got to tell you, Jerry, we had a chance to see the Stepchild back in the pits. This may well be the most advanced, engineered-wise, mud racer we've ever seen. This thing is incredible.
Definitely see that there's some new technology here.
It's a four-wheel drive pro stocker. That's all it is.
All right, both drivers about ready to go. A good close run.
Well, I'll tell you what, if we were determining this on the basis of who gets there first, that one would be tough to call. But, of course, it's the quickest elapsed time that wins the race. The Stepchild at 2.42 seconds, not bad for its maiden voyage. That literally pro-modified four-wheel drive machine also stopped in time. Great run for a gorgeously constructed new machine. It won't be good enough to qualify for the quick four in the Camel Shootout. How about the brand new T-Bird? 2.63 seconds as the machine kind of dipped into the mud ruts off the starting line. But Osteen, literally there in a dead heat with the new Stepchild machine, also got on the brakes, Jim. Well, that means that we've got our four qualifiers, but we still have round two of monster truck action to come here at the Super Bowl of Motorsports. Don't even think about going away.